Question number 3 comes in from Anna here. Hi there, Anna. Thank you for your question and for being part of the amazing WiggyWam community. So Anna says, our flat has been on the market since April last year, and we are still no closer to selling. Buyer pulled out a few months back. The flat is above a newsagents and on a busy main road. We've already reduced the asking price on the advice of the agent, but still no interest. Someone suggested it would be good. It would be a good buy for a buy-to-let, given there is a university close by. How do we find buy-to-let investors? I am guessing they don't use Rightmove, where our property is listed. The other option suggested was the auction route, but I was told I could end up not selling there either and be landed with huge fees even if I don't sell. All right, Anna, well, thank you for your question, and sorry to hear of your situation there. It is a bit of a tricky one, as I was just explaining in the last question, that this changing market is causing properties to stick a little bit, or more importantly, causing buyers to be a little bit more cautious, nervous and reserved about stepping forward to buy properties because, well, first of all, there's the risk of whether or not people have got employment. That's the first one I think that people are nervous about. Secondly, it's the cost of everything, which seems to be going up right now. So not just cost of food and cost of fuel and cost of heating your home, but also cost of finance, et cetera, et cetera. And thirdly, there's obviously the nervousness of whether or not this adverse impact on the market is going to cause prices to retract. And so, there is a lot of uncertainty. So I can understand, the situation that you're in is not a pleasant one because you just want this property sold. So first thing I'm going to say to Anna is there, or the first question I'm going to ask you is there a for sale board in place? If this property is on a busy main road, it's important to get those extra eyeballs looking in the direction of your property. Sometimes people don't put a for sale board up because they get worried that, some people might think it's the entirety of the newsagents and the flat above, etc. But if there's some way where you can get a for sale board up there, then it's definitely going to help, I think, in terms of attracting potentially more interest initially, which is what you need in order to convert that interest into a potential buyer. So that would be the first thing I'd look at. Second thing I'd also consider is whether or not to go down a joint agency route, i.e. have 2 estate agents working side by side trying to sell the property, or even multi-agency where you have potentially 3 or more agents looking to try and sell it. The slight disadvantage is that your cost base will likely increase, but that's no bad thing if it gets the property sold, which would be my view. And so for the extra, let's say, £1,000 to £2,000 you might end up spending by going multi-agency or joint agency, I would suggest it's well worth it because you're then in a position where you're actually getting the property sold, which is most important, right? Third thing I would suggest is to check out local property networking groups in your area and see what you can do in terms of putting this property in front of them. Now, whether that is actually going to one of the meetings and attending it, or whether they have a private, they might have a private social media group where you can post properties on and that sort of thing, or get somebody within the group to post it on there for you. That may generate some interest, but depending upon the nature of the investment group and the people that are there, they may actually want to buy at a discount. So you might have to factor that in. How deep that discount will be, again, is open to inquiry, I suppose, depending upon as I say, the nature of the investors that you've got in that room and whether or not they, see value in acquiring that property in its current location, or whether they can, dare I say it, Anna, sense a bit of desperation and will therefore knock you down on the price. So that's just something to be aware of when you're sort of exposing the properties to that sort of an environment. And that's not to pick holes in property investors at all. It's just the way property investors run their business. It's, they want to buy the best property they can for as cheap as they can because, it works much better on the rental figures. So, why wouldn't you? That sort of thing. The other thing I would suggest you look at, Anna, with this one is actually go and talk to the newsagent themselves and any other shops in the row as to see whether or not they might be interested in buying the property. I know it seems a little bit more proactive and you've got an agent on board and, perhaps the agent should be doing this. I'm not going to dispute that. But the point is, if you want the property sold and you want the cash in the bank, then there's certainly some rewards to be claimed by actually going out there and doing some of the work yourself. So go and talk to the local shop owners, go and talk to the newsagents and see if that's something that they might be interested in buying. You never know, they might just go, well, actually, I didn't know it was for sale. Yeah, I'd love to buy it because, I'm commuting, too much each week, and I'd rather actually live above my shop so I know everything's safe and secure. That could be exactly what they need. All right, so go and have a chat with them. And then just to pick up on the last point that you mentioned about going down the auction route, I would actually go and talk to a couple of auctioneers, invite them in for a conversation, or pick up the phone and have that conversation and see how they operate, because some will charge you based on putting the auction pack together and putting the property into auction. But if it doesn't sell, they will then put it into future auctions free of charge, okay, in order to help you to sell the property. So they operate very differently. The likelihood is they will start with a very low guide price, which might be a lot less than you were actually hoping for. And you might sit there thinking, oh, actually, the property's on the market for 120,000, they're advertising it at 40,000. But the point is, it's a marketing exercise to attract as many people as possible across the threshold, okay? So somebody sees that and thinks, well, I know it's worth 120,000, but it's being advertised at 40,000. It's got to be a bargain. I'm going to buy it, as is 100 other people. And then you get a ton of people in the room, hopefully bidding on that property. And the auctioneer will use the momentum in the room of the bidding to drive the price up, which is exactly what you want. You will be able to set a reserve price, of course, in the auction, which will hopefully prevent it from selling at less than that figure. So you get to determine what that is likely to be. But it all depends on the equity, I suppose, that you've got in this property and how desperate you are to sort of get your hands on that money as to which route you decide to go down. The other final point that I've just thought of, Anna, here is whether or not you might actually be interested in becoming a buy-to-let landlord yourself. Whether this exercise might work out better for you to maybe do a refinancing exercise to pull a chunk of cash out of the property and then become a landlord, rent the property out, and you've got an income then as well as an asset that will hopefully hopefully appreciate over time. That might be something well worth thinking about, because it could open another door for you in that regard. So have a little think, explore some options there, Anna. There's plenty to go at here, I think, with this property. It might feel a little bit like you're losing hope, but please don't, because I think you've got a number of options to explore there. And hopefully, as we start to get out of this colder weather period, we're coming out of winter. I mean, January's traditionally not a great time for selling, let's be honest. But hopefully, as the market starts to get a little bit better and the weather picks up a little bit, it might be the right time for you to sell. And it might be the right time then for a buyer to come through the door and give you what you want. Okay, so wishing you the best of luck with that, Anna. Hope it all goes well. Let us know if there's anything else that we can do to help you, and good luck. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure to be with you here again this week. Thank you so much indeed for your questions. As I said earlier on, if you want to submit your questions to us, there's various ways you can get in contact with us. The first is via email. You can send your questions in to us via our email address, which is happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. That's happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. You can also submit questions via our website, which is wiggywam.co.uk. That's wiggywam.co.uk. Set up your free profile on there. Join the amazing WiggyWam community. Get involved. There's all sorts of resources on there, videos that we've produced in terms of taking you through the journey of buying and selling a property, and a whole bunch of other really exciting resources on there. So get involved on the website. Make sure you sign up there. You can also submit questions via the Twitter account, which is at WiggyWam_UK. That's at WiggyWam_UK. And we'll be back same time next week doing this once again. Very much looking forward to seeing you all again. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be of service to you. And if you haven't yet got your copy of Home Buyer Secrets, I'm going to encourage you to do that, because I think this spring market is going to be pretty intense in a lot of different ways, and you definitely need to know some of the insider secrets that we're sharing in this book. So go to homebuyersecrets.co.uk and grab yourself a copy of that book. You'll also get part of access to our full training video series, which will actually guide you through in greater detail than I can go into in the book through the process of, buying and selling a property, which will be fantastic. So if there's anything else that we can do to serve you guys, please do let us know. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you again, same time, same place next week, and have an amazing week. Lots of love, God bless, and see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.